The biggest mistake in email marketing is listening to your girlfriend. I'm not kidding, and you'll see why in today's video. Today, you're going to learn about the 13 biggest email marketing mistakes that you can fix right now. Let's jump in with something so obvious, I can't believe it still happens today. Email marketing mistake number 1. You have a non-existent or delayed welcome email. When I audit an email marketing setup, I start with the welcome email. And I'm sorry to say that yes, in 2024, there are people running email lists without welcome emails. Why have a welcome email? Because your welcome is your best opportunity to engage with a new contact. A good welcome email can get an 80% open rate and 50% click rate if you do it right. Now, what does a good welcome email do? It lets people know what to expect and why they should care, why they should open your emails. So make sure you write one. And in some cases, I've seen massive delays in welcome emails being sent. As part of a research project, I joined one of the biggest political news sites in the world, and the welcome email came 12 hours after I signed up. Speaking of welcome emails, let's talk about mistake number 2. Your welcome email has nothing to click on or buy. As you just learned, your welcome email is your best opportunity to engage with a new lead. So you better let people engage with your content or buy from you. Your welcome email will always be your best performing email, so give people something to do right away. Remember, it's a big deal for someone to join your email list, so you want to build on the relationship right now. And having people click on your emails is good for deliverability, even if they don't buy anything. Number 3, you don't send enough emails. The 500,000 email rule says that the more emails you send, the more money you make. I learned this by sending 500,000 emails in one day with 7 emails going to each contact. I made a whole bunch of money and had almost no spam complaints. Now, not sending enough might be the most common mistake among email marketers, because if you ask your girlfriend or your mom or your dog, they're always going to say, yeah, nobody wants to get a lot of emails. That's just not true. Think about why people sign up for your email list. It is to get emails from you. Otherwise, they wouldn't sign up. This is the most obvious thing in the world. Remember, people join your list because they want to hear what you have to say, and a lot of those people want to buy what you have to sell. They just need a good reason to do so. So give them lots of emails with good reasons to put the credit card down. And don't forget, not everyone sees every email you send. Some people might only see 1 out of 5 of your emails or even less. So send more than you think you should. See, I told you I'd bring up your girlfriend, and I also mentioned your mom and your dog. Now, if you've made it this far into the video, you might care about who I am. My name is Michael Camo, and I'm a New York-based marketing consultant focused on copywriting and email marketing. Every Sunday, I share a video with simple, actionable strategies that help you make more money and build better relationships with your customers. So if you've been enjoying this video so far, do me a favor and hit that like button. You can also subscribe to this channel for more marketing lessons, absolutely free every Sunday. And if you do subscribe, be careful, because I'll make you an offer you can't refuse. Mistake number 4, you obsess over vanity metrics. Sometimes I brag about my open rates because I find it funny, and frankly, some people are impressed, which is always the sign of an amateur. But beware of obsessing over vanity metrics like open rates, because they have nothing to do with actually making money. Focus on metrics that matter, like sales, your list growth, and conversion rate. Email opens don't pay the rent. Neither do clicks, only money does. And don't forget that email rates are wrong for several reasons, including Apple's mail privacy protection program. MPP opens all emails at the server level, which inflates everyone's open rates. When MPP kicked in, tons of people saw their open rates go from 20% to 50% overnight. It's all nonsense. Focus on dollars, not opens. Number 5, you use cheesy, clickbaity subject lines all the time. Since we just discussed open rates, we should talk about subject lines. Using spammy, clickbaity subject lines can juice your open rates, but if you can't deliver on the teasing, you pay a price because people will stop trusting you. You could only say 14 epic life tips from Kim Kardashian that you've never heard before that will change your life in 30 seconds with zero work so many times before you turn people off. You will get your high open rate, but all your other metrics fall off a cliff once you lose trust. So every time you write one of those super slick, super sexy subject lines, ask yourself, am I overselling what's inside the email? Here's a good rule of thumb. The better your email or your offer, the trashier you can be with your subject line. Number 6, you don't clean your email list. Email deliverability is key to success, because if your emails don't land in people's inboxes, you can't make any money. And the single biggest reason people have email deliverability issues is a dirty list. What is a dirty email list? It's a list full of unengaged or dead contacts. If people aren't engaging with your emails, it sends a signal to the internet overlords that your emails are unwanted. And fewer people see your messages in their inboxes. This happens even if people double opt into your list, and even for buyers. And the bigger your list becomes, the more important cleaning becomes. Keep your list clean, and odds are you'll never have deliverability problems. I've seen people grow their email lists huge, let's say 50, 60, 100,000 contacts, and they have a huge drop in performance overnight because they suddenly have deliverability problems. The culprit every single time was list hygiene. By the way, if you want me to do a video on email deliverability, let me know in the comments below. Number 7, you don't measure your results. One of the biggest benefits of email marketing is that you can measure almost everything. You need to track this stuff all the time so you can find out what works best for your lists. Yet, tons of people ignore their metrics. They don't know their open rates or click rates, let alone conversion rates or list growth rates. I've thought about this a lot, and it all comes down to ego. Some people don't want to take the risk of finding out their strategy sucks. So they put their heads in their sand and they ignore the numbers altogether. This is where you get into this weird state where you're failing and you can't admit it. I'm not saying you should be a slave to your metrics. Otherwise, you would never take any risks and you'd never try anything new. You would just play it too safe. But you need to track your results. You don't have a choice. Number 8, you don't split test your emails or your strategies. Split testing is another major advantage of email marketing. It's a big part of learning what works best for your audience. If you're smart about it, split testing will save you a lot of time, energy, and effort. Now, if you don't know where to start, I have 2 suggestions. The first thing to test is email formats. Maybe short to the point emails will be your biggest money makers. Maybe not. Maybe your audience likes really long emails with really dramatic stories, and the only way to find out is to test. The second thing to test is your big idea. What's a big idea? It's the reason someone should pay attention to you and think about buying your product. You can use big ideas in your subject line or as topics in the email body. The goal is to find out what works best so you can double down. Number 9, you put giant non-clickable images on the top of your emails. I'm not a huge fan of images in email overall, especially big ones on top that you can't click. My split tests show no boost in performance from big header images, and in many cases, they hurt. This is because big images push your opening hook down below the fold so people can't see it. Now, e-commerce applications like clothing, makeup, those might be different, but that's not my specialty. Giant images on top are also bad for mobile users because the images push your message off people's screens altogether. So I like no image on top or a thin one that doesn't interfere with the email content. So let's talk about mobile. Number 10, you ignore mobile optimization. One reason I use mostly plain text in my emails is that a lot of my audience reads email on iPhones and other smartphones. Plain text is always mobile friendly out of the box with no adjustments. So no matter what you put in your emails, make sure your messages are readable on mobile devices, and pay extra attention to any images with text. Small text can look fine on a computer, but terrible on an iPhone. And every time you send a test email, read it on a computer and a phone. Pretty simple, right? Number 11, you send mass emails from Gmail. Yes, people still do this in 2024 also. They will copy and paste dozens or hundreds of emails into Gmail, and they'll just start blasting away mass mailings. This is dumb for a million reasons. First, you're violating Gmail's terms of service, which could mean your email address gets marked as a spam address, or it just gets shut down altogether. Plus, you won't be able to track any statistics. You can start with a service like ConvertKit or Beehive or whatever for next to nothing. So be smart and use a professional email sending service. Number 12, you email lousy offers. The biggest mistake I've made in my career is trying to market things nobody wants. Here's a reality your boss or your client doesn't want to hear. You can't fix a bad offer or a bad product with great marketing. just does not work. And on the off chance you do make some sales, you end up with refund requests and credit card chargebacks. Why? Because nobody wants to pay for a garbage product. Even if you don't have a money back guarantee, people can still file complaints with the credit card company. So it doesn't really matter. So don't try to fix crappy products with great emails. So before you write your emails, just ask yourself the big question: is this thing worth marketing in the first place? Scary question. People don't ask it. Number 13, you use unclear calls to action. My favorite call to action in the world is click here. Can you guess why? I'm sure you guessed, because if you want people to click on something, you should make it really obvious. This is especially true if your audience is older. At the very least, make sure your links are colorful, bold, and underlined. And do not underline any text unless it's clickable. That's a common usability mistake that drives me absolutely freaking bananas. And oh yeah, if you have an image that you do want people to click, try putting a very bold click me or click here call to action on top of the image. It looks terrible, but it really, really works. And of course, if you don't believe me, split test it. I guarantee you it'll work. Now, here's an example of a call to action I would test. Now, if I was selling an email marketing course, I could test the following 2 calls to action. I could have one that's just click here, and I can have another that's something like start printing money with email marketing. Now, if you enjoyed this video and you want to print money with email marketing, I have something to share with you that I think you might appreciate. You can get my free email marketing video course by heading to michael99.com/YouTube, or just click the link down in the video description below. And if you like this video, hit the thumbs up and subscribe. I'll see you later with another video next Sunday. Thank you for watching.